Okay, this week we are going to be talking about managing expectations and what to do if you fall off the wagon, how to get back on. So let's start first and talk about managing your expectations with this program. I would love to start with saying likely this weight has not come on overnight, and even though this program is wonderful for rapid weight loss, I want you guys to really keep in mind that it's not going to get fixed overnight. You just have to allow time, you have to be patient, you have to have a little bit of grace, and just know that we are creating some lifestyle changes here. We're changing habits, behaviors. There's so much that we're working on that you just have to be very realistic about what you're doing. Through the process, there will be ups, there will be downs. Some days you will lose a couple of pounds on the scale. Some days you will be completely flat and not lose anything. And you might even find that there's a few days where you're up a little bit. So even though I want you guys to weigh daily and report your weight, I don't want you to get caught up in the outcome. Do not focus everything on the weight on the scale. So a couple of things that you can look for are how your clothes feel, how your energy levels are, how you look, things like that. Even your measurements, those are a really great indicator of the progress that you're making. So during the course of this program, you should expect to lose 10 to 20 pounds per 23-day round. So you will absolutely see it on the scale, feel it. It will be noticeable, but don't get caught up in don't have everything be about the weight on the scale, and do not compare your results with others. I have found that typically people that have more weight to lose will lose faster. Men tend to lose faster than women. And if your expectations are that you're going to lose 20 plus pounds in a round, you may be disappointed. Typically people will see, women especially, will see a half a pound to 3/4 of a pound on the scale per day. And men typically see 3/4 to a pound. So just make sure that your expectations are where they should be going in, and focus on every win. Focus on the changes you've made so far. Focus on how good you feel, sleeping better. You may already be lowering some medication doses with your doctor, of course, but that is something I want you guys to keep an eye on through this program, because as you're losing 20, 30, 40 pounds of weight, you definitely will need to adjust your dosages of medications that you're on. So work with your practitioner on that and make sure that you're staying on top of it. And then two, I want you guys to, rather than focusing on the amount that you lose every single day, I want you to focus on your total weight loss since the beginning. That's a much more positive place to look, and that keeps you from being impacted mentally and emotionally by the day-to-day ups and downs. Another thing that you can do to manage your expectations are setting reasonable goals in the beginning. So for instance, I'm 5'8", and if I look at this BMI chart, let's say I'm looking to weigh 140 pounds. That would put me at 21 as my body fat. So I come over here, and 21 falls in that healthy weight range. So that would be a good weight for me. So go ahead and find your height, find your weight currently, and then scale down to your goal weight. Make sure that it puts you in a healthy weight range and not below. So also know that if you are obese or very much overweight, you may not see this healthy weight range just in 1 or 2 rounds. This may be a little bit more long-term thing for you. So I want you to focus on getting to this healthy weight zone, but know that it might be a little bit more of a process than just what you're going to see in one set on the program. Same with your weight. I want you to make sure that you are looking at what a healthy weight is for you so that you are setting a reasonable expectation. If you're 5'8" and want to weigh 120 pounds and you have a medium or large frame or even a small frame, your expectations are off. You likely will not make it to that, so you're going to be disappointed. So make sure that you have a healthy weight that is actually attainable as your goal. So I want you guys to reassess that now based on this chart and make sure you're in line. And two, if you're 5'8" and 60, 70 years old, having weighing 140 pounds may not be realistic for you with your lifestyle. Maybe you're not active, or maybe it's that you just set a realistic goal based on your frame size, your height, and your lifestyle will factor into this as well. So if you've done all of the expectation management things and you are still, you're losing, your weight loss stops or slows down, a couple of things that we need to look for. And typically, I'm not making any major adjustments with a plateau as far as doing an apple day until you are stuck for 3 to 4 days. So if you notice a flat day on the scale for 1 or 2 days or so, I want you guys to go back and look at your food lists. I want you to see, just double check, make sure that you are eating foods only on the list, that your portion sizes are correct, that you're getting all of your portions in. Sometimes not getting enough calories is just as detrimental as too many. Make sure you're weighing and measuring. Double check to make sure you're not doing anything new like mints or gum. Some people can get away with gum on this program. Just make sure that it's sugar-free. Another thing to look for is strenuous exercise. Maybe you have added something in that's a little bit more active than normal. That can cause a slowdown on the scale. Sleep habits is important. If you're not getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, that can impact your weight loss. On this particular program, any lotion, hair care, or makeup items that have oils in them can slow you down. Not getting enough water can slow you down. For most women, anytime they're around their menstrual cycle, they will typically gain a little bit. Usually that just lasts for a couple of days, so don't stress about that. And then just stress in general, if you have increased your stress levels, chances are your body's pumping out a lot of cortisol, so that will slow you down. So based on these items, you can make adjustments as needed. Get a little more sleep, drink more water, make sure that you're measuring and weighing everything and that you're keeping your stress levels to a minimum. So if you have just flat fallen off the wagon, made a mistake, had pizza, something that was completely off the plan, I want to talk to you about some strategies for getting back on track. And I don't want you to wait until Monday to get restarted or even tomorrow to get restarted. I want you to start at your very next meal. Get your head back in the game and get going again. So here's a couple of things that you can do to help you move forward. So number one is forgiving yourself. That's huge. You have to recognize that we are human. And it's really about progress, not perfection. So I want you guys to focus on the changes, the positive things that you have changed, the new things that you've incorporated into your day-to-day, and the things that you're doing well. That's really important to focus on those positive things to keep yourself mentally and emotionally where you need to be to stay the course. Number two, I want you to analyze the lapse. So once you've moved on, you've forgiven yourself, and we're back on track, something that we do need to do, to make sure that this doesn't happen again is we need to analyze what the lapse was about, what caused us to fall off the wagon. So number one, look at the trigger. Where were you? Who were you with? How are you feeling? For women, I know we are terrible at emotional-based eating, so I really want you to identify whatever it was that triggered you to do what you did, and then we can help it from happening in the future. Okay, the next part of this is the response. So what did you say to yourself when it happened? What did you do? What was your reaction? And then the last part is consequence. How did you feel afterwards? And what was the impact that it made to your overall weight loss progress? So you're actually going to go through this exercise and fill in the blanks. Anytime that you do have a day where you've cheated, I'm going to have you do this strategy just to make sure that you've identified the problem and you have a game plan for not having it happen again. So number 3 is that game plan. So just strategy for next time. What can you do to change the trigger or change your response to it? And then what would be the benefits of using this strategy in the future? And then the last part of this is rehearsing the strategy. So I want you to mentally go over it and over it and over it using positive affirmations to reinforce your future success. So that is going to really help you. Number one, just having a plan, first of all, recognizing what causes it, having a plan, and then rehearsing it so that it's just a little bit more concrete in your mind and you're solid on it, usually will keep you from going back there again. So on this, we're early enough in the game here and you're likely seeing enough results on the scale that you're not up against the wall on this. Some of you are, but I want you guys to hold on to this, maybe print it out and keep it in your binder, just in case you do have any issues or problems. I would also love to have you post your results on the Facebook page so that, you know, maybe some of your strategies will help other people get an idea of things that they should be looking for in their life. So anytime that we can share strategies and things that we've done to help us, we are benefiting someone else. So the more you can work on your positive affirmations, work on the mental side of this, getting your head wrapped around it, having your expectations properly in line, the less problem you're going to have of falling off the wagon. So just get your head right about all this, do your affirmations, focus on the positive, and you will do awesome. All right, you guys, I hope you have a great rest of the week, and we will be talking soon.